So it's the time you've all been waiting for, guys. It's the regular monthly market update. The market is extremely buoyant. It is probably a bit more buoyant for us because obviously with our channel growing and how many watches we're selling, we had the best month last month than we've had in nearly 9 years of being open as the luxury watch company. So what does that tell you? And the stock that's coming in, we've got clients phoning up asking for watches that we literally have got sat on our desk because we can't get through all the stock, and we're selling them before they even hit the platform. So that's just one thing for you guys to know out there, how busy the market actually is. Some of the watches we're selling, just to give you an idea of what the most popular ones are this month. The number one again is the Steel Submariner. The Steel Submariner date or no date. One of these two. These are the most popular and best sellers for us at the minute. I have covered this in other videos. You know, you've got to think RRP, late 8s, you know, for this watch, early 9s. You know, market price 12 to 13k. So you can see why they're so popular. So we're selling loads of those at the minute. Whenever we get them in, we pretty much sell them the same day, and we're just buying more and more. I've ordered some more today, and I've got some more coming in next week as well. And I've got some clients come to see them and collect them. And we actually had a client come yesterday to collect one. So they are extremely popular watches at the minute. Some of the other models we're selling, we actually sold a Rose Yachtmaster Oyster Flex, which again I've mentioned, which you guys I'm sure follow the channel. That particular one, you know, is a list or over list for us to sell and an unlist for us to buy. Ever since I've done that video, it's been quite funny. I've had so many clients message me saying, I want to buy that watch, even though I've said it's just an underlist list or just over. And we got one in from a client on Saturday, drove all the way from the centre of London to come and see us. Bought a couple of watches from him. Didn't even have a chance to get it advertised. Someone phoned up and that's going out. Went out yesterday and the client will have that on his wrist today. So that's another one for you guys out there. I think purely because of it's around about a list watch. What other watches have we been selling? So we've been selling a lot of the Datejust range. So the Datejust 41s, the rhodiums that we mentioned before, they've been proving really popular. The GMT range, we've sold 2 root beers last week. We've sold the Pepsis, we've sold the Batmans and the Batgirls, all new. They've all gone. I've got some new Pepsis coming in this week. 2 or 3 people on my list for that watch. That'll be going straight out. James Cameron's, we've just sold one. We only advertised it last night. The JC, the Deep Sea Dweller 1-3 reference. Only 2 for sale on the whole of Chrono, us being the second of that in the UK. Advertised it last night, sold it first thing this morning. So they're ones that you should be pulling trigger on. I've got another brand new one that's just landed on my desk literally 10 minutes ago. That's the 1-2 reference. That's a 2022. That's going to be around about the 15k mark. No doubt I'll sell that within the next day or two, just purely because they become quite a dry watch, even though we sold loads last year. So that's another one for you guys out there. We've also sold the Oyster Flex Daytonas, the Ghost, the best one for us selling in the current market. The white gold grey dial Ghost. We sold 2 last month. I've sold another one 2 days ago, and we've got another 2 in stock, and I've just bought another one. I love the Ghost. Like I said before, I'd have a cabinet full of Daytona Ghosts, so they are such good, great value. Between 36 and 37k for brand new ones, depending on the year. Discontinued model, and I think it's also quite out that we do talk about the discontinued and how the market has settled. So for you guys that follow my channel, you'll have seen the last ones that we did and what we actually predicted, and some of those have come true. So like the John Mayer, for example, we predicted they'd reach big numbers, just to discontinue, which they did. The market became saturated because everybody has been holding that watch for 2 years, then ran out to sell it, so it's not a rare watch yet. In saying that, we did sell ours, so we've had ours for sale, and we sold ours to a client, and we've now started accepting cryptocurrency. So for you guys out there that don't know, we actually accept that. We've had a brand new website built following on the success of the company and how much we're growing. We thought it's only fair to put a new website, and for that reason we've accepted new payment methods, so we can accept the credit cards online, the debit cards online, the bank transfer. You can check out a bank transfer. You can even leave a deposit for a watch now, so you can reserve a watch if you want to collect it within the week. And also crypto, something we've never been involved with the company, but we've actually started to do now. So for us, it's a safe transaction. It's another form of avenue of the sales. We sold our first one last week. It was the John Mayer to a chap in Switzerland. He's come to collect that with us this week. So again, you know, what does that tell you about the market? They've started to not being as offered as much to John Mayer, which is what I pretty much predicted. You know, they'll be saturated, then they'll sort of start bought up slowly, and after that time, then they'll start to creep up in price. And I predict over the next 6 months, that watch will start to go up and hit the numbers that it really should be. It's only a low price now because the market is saturated with that particular model. I get a lot of inquiries for the Panda Daytona, the newly discontinued one. A lot of you guys out there racing out to buy that. You're not really sure on how the market's going to see it, but for me, I'm trying to advise my clients that you should be buying that watch, and as long as the price price is right, you should be. You know, you've got to remember that is the watch that does take 11 years. It used to be on the waiting list for that watch. I've had 2 clients phone up last week. One's been on list for 4 years and one's been on list for 7 years. And I'm talking clients who actually have a really good spend. And then they pretty much know they're never going to get that watch. So some of you guys out there are still willing to go out there and buy that watch, bearing in mind when the new one comes out, it will be 2 or 3 months from the release around June time. When that hits the market, there's going to be a premium on that to the discontinued one. So that's really going to be 35, 40k watch. That's what I predict it'll be anyway. And there's going to be a slow release into the market because they're hard to get. So if you're looking for a watch that you think you can capitalize on the market at the minute, around 30k for a brand new one, you should be pulling that trigger, because you've got to think that watch was 45, 50k last year. Yeah, we had the madness of all the sort of boom in the industry, but around 30k now for that watch is really good value. I think I've got one coming in on Friday, brand new 2023. I've got another client, I've got one coming in next week. So just to give you an idea, that's definitely one you should be pulling the trigger on, and one that we get a lot of inquiries for. I just want to say a real thank you to all you guys out there for actually following the channel and all the comments that we actually get. But more than that, I also want to thank you for all the business that we're actually getting on the back of it. We're now selling globally around the world, which for me is absolutely mind-blowing. And the amount of response we've got from people coming through the door, you know, we'll go back-to-back appointments all day, every day now. You know, no matter what day of the week it is, we've got clients booked in. And, you know, like I said, I just want to say a big thank you to you guys out there, because without you guys, you know, this just couldn't happen. And for me, that's the biggest compliment you could give me. So yeah, to follow on from what we've discussed before about what you guys out there are getting offered and what we're seeing being offered to us through you guys, the date just range we've mentioned before. You know, a lot of clients are getting that call for the date just. I even had a client yesterday who rang me on the back of obviously my Pikachu, which is obviously becoming quite a little celebrity in itself. He actually rang me to say, I've watched your video on Monday, I've had the call from my ID, I've gone in to collect my watch, they told me it was a yellow gold Oyster Flex Daytona, they told me it was the black dial. He didn't actually know what it was going to be till he got there, walked out with the Pikachu, and I had to confirm that it was exactly the same combination, not just the champagne dial, which it was, and he couldn't actually believe it and had to say, is it actually worth that money? And I went, yes. And he went, I actually can't believe it. I said, how many watches have you had from the AD? How much spend have you got? And he said, well, I had one last year and then I had one before. And this is how mad the industry is. You know, there's you guys out there fighting to get your watches on the list. And he's actually walked in blazingly, got the call, didn't really know what he was going to get, and he's walked out with this, which is pretty crazy, and I don't hear them stories very often. Obviously, he's never going to sell the watch to me. He wanted to buy it to keep it and wear, which is great, but that's how crazy the industry is. And he just had to phone me up just to confirm it was that one, because at the end of the day, that's a £28,000 watch, 27, 28. You know, that watch is worth 40 to 45k on the market, and he's actually walked out with that on the day, which is absolutely incredible. So you know, congratulations to you. As far as what's dried up on the market, so the things that we're starting to see dry up are the John Mayers. You know, they're the ones that we're not seeing that many of. The James Camerons, you know, they're ones we're not seeing that many of now. They're drying up. Even the blue Submariner Day, the blues here, the steel and yellow gold 41mm, they're drying up. I mean, you know, there was a time when they were just market was saturated with them. I've got a client that wants one and it has to be new, and I just can't find him a brand new, and they're all pre-owned. And I've had some clients tell me from the AD that they're saying, you're gonna have to wait a while for that. We're not gonna be able to get one of them, and they were throwing them at clients. So that's one that's kind of shifting the market. And I think it's really important for you guys to understand that, you know, that's why we do the monthly market updates, because it's really important that you've got your finger on the pulse at this particular time. This is how quick our market changes, and this is how quick you've got to react to that. So it's very important to understand how the market is sitting and what you should be buying and what you shouldn't be buying. So one, you don't lose money, and two, you're actually getting a good deal. And three, if you want to flip it, you can actually, you know, make a decent profit. If you do want to see last month's update, which was the Watches and Wonders, don't forget to click the link below. But this is the market as it is today, as it is back to normal trading, and stay tuned for my next monthly market update.